community can have any number of supplementary planning documents, and they can cover almost anything. In this case, this, I think, actually really helpful document is something that enables us, using the existing code, to have our voices heard in this way. But as things stand, there are all sorts of aspects of planning which are determined centrally. So, for example, the number of houses to be built in England every year, and the number of houses which are to be built in the south of England, and the number of houses to be built in Surrey, and the number of houses to be built in Surrey East, have been until now decided by a central plan. Someone thinks up a total, that is 1,000, whatever it might be, and then that total is divided up so that each local authority gets its share of the burden, and the local authority has to make sure by hook or by crook that number of houses is built. And then when those houses are built, there are specific rules, for example, about the number of parking spaces that are allowed when every house is built. Because the previous government wanted to discourage people using cars, for example, and to encourage people to walk or cycle. So any new house that was built could only have a set number of parking spaces allocated to it. And if you didn't, you were breaking the law. Our view is that the degree of engineering or over-determination of what happens in local communities, which central government was responsible for, was all wrong. And what we need to do in the future is, when we're designing plans for local communities, it should be local people who should decide. So it should be people in Surrey Heath who decide how many homes they think are appropriate for their area, not central government. It should be people in Surrey Heath who say, if we are going to have new developments, actually we think it's entirely appropriate that there should be 2 or 3 parking spaces, where previously there was 1 or a half. That people here should be able to say, we actually think that we would like to include in our planning document a requirement that houses are built using local materials, or in keeping with the already existing architectural styles that we think of as specific to Surrey, or whatever it might be. The aim of the Localism Bill is to put the community in the driving seat. Once that plan has been formed, and once the community has had a voice, then that means that anyone who wants to develop in that area will know, if you're going to develop in Surrey Heath, you'd better make sure that your buildings are green, or architecturally sympathetic, or take account of people's need to travel. All of these decisions, if the Localism Bill passes, will be in the hands of local authorities and the councillors whom you elect. One other thing that we're going to change as well. At the moment, if a local councillor has a view on a particular planning issue, and they tell you that view in order to get elected on the basis that they want to represent you, once they've stated that view, they can't then have any say in the planning decision itself. So let's imagine, for the sake of argument, that Mike said, I'm going to stand for election at the next election, and I'm going to stand on the basis that I will not allow this development to go ahead unless there is a new primary school. Then, when the planning application came before the council, and there wasn't a primary school, if Mike said, I'm now going to explain to the council why it shouldn't go ahead, and I'm going to vote against it because there's no school, currently he'd be breaking the law, because it would be said that he had a predetermined view on the matter. Well, we're changing the law so that Mike or any other councillor can say, elect me, and I will stop a development like this, or support a development like that, and I'm accountable to you for that decision. There are some other changes in the local law which we'd like to go on to discuss in just a moment, but I'm keen to respect Gary's rules on timing. And I just wanted to underline that the aim of the bill is not to turn things into a free-for-all, but to ensure that you do have plans which people can look at, measure, and have as a guide when it comes to development. These plans are designed to suit Surrey Heath